Prateek Kuhad leaves netizens confused as he reads and retweets random tweets. Indian songwriter and singer Prateek Kuhad is on a very weird spree right now. No, there is no song lined up or any kind of new announcement. He is just retweeting the tweets by his fans, haters or any damn person who have tagged him or written his name. This act of his has allowed him to become one of the top trends on Twitter India. Don't ask us why, because such is the situation. Prateek Kuhad's song, Cold Mess, makes it to Barack Obama's favorite music of 2019, read tweet. In case you are wondering whether his social media account got hacked, that's not the case. The internet sensation confirmed that he is retweeting these memes, hate tweets, appreciation posts and whatnot, with his own hands. He also noted down that he is reading every single post dedicated to him before he hits the retweet button. Check out his posts on this current national issue that it has become. The internationally known singer shot to international fame with his independent album In Tokens and Charms, which is released in 2015. He also bagged several awards like MTV Europe Music Award, Indie Album of the Year honors from iTunes, Best Pop Artist at the Radio City Freedom Awards, and also won the International Songwriting Competition. Recently, he was in news after former US President Barack Obama mentioned his song, Cold Mess, as one of his favorite songs from his playlist. Well, as of now, we wait to know what's exactly happening with this tweet storm. China reports a drop in the coronavirus spreading for the first time. The National Health Commission of China reported 394 confirmed cases for yesterday, February 19. It is the first time after the coronavirus attack on China there is a substantial drop in the number of confirmed cases for the last month. On February 18, the previous day, the number of confirmed cases was 1,749. But the number of deaths reported yesterday was 108, taking its toll to a total of 2,128 so far. There are questions raised about the Chinese government only reporting lab-confirmed cases and not including those out of it as it was done before. Also, the Diamond Princess cruise ship stopped outside Japan is increasing the coronavirus casualties in Japan now. Meanwhile, Mike Pompeo, the US Secretary of State, has denounced China's expulsion of 3 WSJ or Wall Street Journal newspaper reporters. He urged the Chinese authorities to respect the freedom of the press. In a statement, he said that the correct response of governments is to present counter-arguments for free press reports and not to restrict speech. The Chinese news agency Xinhua claims that the patients getting discharged has exceeded the number of newly confirmed cases for the past 4 consecutive days. But the data coming out of the Hubei province, which is the epicenter of the coronavirus, remains to be positive and confirms that the crisis is not over yet. And experts feel that there could be a rise in the coronavirus case as soon as people start reporting to work later this week. China's coronavirus worries do not end with the reduction of the infected cases for only a day. More economic worries are going to hit China hard because of coronavirus. Small companies that account for 80% of China's GDP could not survive another month as their reserves are drying up. Zhao Jian, the director of the Shandong province-based Atlantis Research Institute, is highly critical in his recent research note. He says that if the crisis is not ending within that period, it could be the last straw of breaking the camel's back, or China's economy to disaster. But now the focus of coronavirus is shifting to other parts of the world including South Korea recorded an additional 31 confirmed cases, taking its total cases to 82. Singapore saw a steep rise in its confirmed cases to 84 now. In Japan, more than 68 confirmed cases have been reported without any connection to the Diamond Princess cruise ship crisis and its 2 deaths. Kerala, burglar pens biblical apology note after mistakenly targeting retired army officer's home. A burglar was full of remorse after mistakenly targeting a retired military officer's residence here that he wrote an apology on the wall, quoting a biblical commandment. The police, however, were not amused and have launched a search for him. Police claimed nothing was found missing. The incident occurred on Tuesday night. Had I come to know that it was a military personnel's house, I would not have targeted it, he wrote, expressing his respect for the Indian military. I didn't know it was an army man's residence. I came to know only in the last moment when I saw the military cap. Apologies, the thief wrote on the wall using a marker, a police officer told PTI. The retired colonel and his family is out of station for the past 2.5 months. A woman engaged by the family to clean the premises of the house at Thiruvankulam near Thripunithura found the doors broken open this morning and alerted police. I violated the 7th commandment. A reference to the biblical commandment, "Thou shalt not steal," was another phrase etched on the wall, police said. The burglar had earlier struck at a shop in the neighborhood. Police said they were investigating if more people were involved in the break-ins. Punjab University drops 16 places in the Emerging Economies University list. The ranking is calculated by scoring the universities on criteria including number of citations, research output, international outlook and quality of teaching. With a total score of 28.9, PU has scored the lowest in terms of research output, a mere score of 14.4 out of 100. Punjab University has yet again slipped down the Times Emerging Economies University list, from the 150th rank in 2019 to 166th in 2020. In 2018, it had ranked 130th in the list for universities from emerging economies. The list was released on Wednesday. The ranking is calculated by scoring the universities on criteria including number of citations, research output, international outlook and quality of teaching. With a total score of 28.9, PU has scored the lowest in terms of research output, a mere score of 14.4 out of 100. In terms of research output we are doing okay and I am positive we will do much better in the coming years, said Dean University Instruction, DUI, of PU, Shankar Jija, acting Vice-Chancellor in absence of VC Raj Kumar who is said to be out of station. The rankings also take heed of statistics including total strength of university, students to staff ratio, number of international students and male to female ratio. Since the total strength of the university has increased by more than 1,000 students from last year, and no new faculty has been hired, the student to teacher ratio has increased from 21.5 students per staff member to 23.4 students per staff member. I think our biggest problem is strength of faculty. We need more faculty and we will work to create more vacancies. The number of teachers has only declined because we haven't been able to hire new faculty and at the same time, many faculty members have also retired, increasing the number of vacancies, said DUIJA. Recently, 26 advertised posts for assistant professor had been put on hold by the PU syndicate because members believed a roster needs to be created before the hiring process begins. The roster is yet to be created even though the advertisement for the posts had been circulated in June 2019. Though VC Raj Kumar has claimed earlier that funding is not an issue, many faculty members have raised their voice in committee and Senate meetings on the acute financial crunch faced by the university. The university cannot function if it continues to sustain on the same funding models. There needs to be an overhaul of our financial structure in order to develop and progress, said a senior professor at the university. The university's financial constraints are compounded by the fact that it does not receive a separate development fund. The ranking list was specifically created for emerging economies to address the critique that it is not fair to pit universities from emerging economies with wealthy universities from rich economies in the global north. Since its inception, the list has been dominated by universities from China. In the 2020 rankings as well, Tsinghua University from China has topped the list and the maximum number of universities in the list, I-81, are from China. Ranking 16th, Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore is the highest scored university from India on the list. Tirupur bus accident, death toll rises to 19 and most of the deceased are from Palakkad. A Kerala state-run Volvo bus met with an accident, today morning, left 19 people to die in vain. This, certainly, an unfortunate event happened on the highway towards Coimbatore earlier this morning around 3 p.m. According to the field source, the officials are in a fear that the death toll could possibly rise as nearly 29 passengers were seriously injured in the accident. Reports from the officials stated that the dead included 14 men and 5 women among the 19. In the early morning of February 20, Thursday, a state-run Kerala SETC that was on its way from Bangalore to Ernakulam met with a horrific accident colliding with a truck that entered the runway from the other side. As per the details from the source, the truck which was on its way towards Salem entered the opposite road by losing control of its wheels as a result of a busted tire. Thus collided with the speeding bus and left horrific bloodshed on the highway. Reportedly, the truck driver is absconding after the accident. In the statement given by the CM of Kerala, further actions are being taken. Palkad District Collector has been ordered to take the assistance of the Tirupur District Collector in providing medical assistance and identify and bring the deceased back home. Also, another statement from the Kerala Transport Minister stated that most of the deceased persons belong to Palkad district. Officials are working on the rescue mission. And, Vijayakarthikeyan, the Tirupur district collector, has just shared an emergency number to know further about the deceased. In his Twitter handle, he expressed his condolences and shared 7708331194. An emergency contact number to know about the accident and immediate assistance for the family members who related to the passengers on the bus. Tabu all set to recreate Vidya Balan's iconic Ami J. Toma dance sequence for Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2. Ever since the sequel for Bhool Bhulaiyaa that starred Akshay Kumar was announced, audiences have been looking forward to knowing more details regarding the film. According to a report in Mumbai Mirror, Tabu is all set to join the star cast and recreate Vidya Balan's iconic Ami J. Toma dance sequence in the upcoming Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2. The film is the reboot of the hit Vidya Balan and Akshay starrer Bhool Bhulaiyaa that released in 2007, and Kartik Aaryan will step into Akshay's shoes in Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2. A source was quoted saying, "In the recreated version of Mia Bholna, we will see Tabu performing on the same number. She's really excited and looking forward to it." Like the original, the music of Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 will be a chartbuster. Reports suggest that the shooting for the film begins on Friday in Jaipur with Kartik and Tabu, and Kiara Advani is all set to join them next week. About the locations, the source added, director Anis Bazmi, and his team checked out a lot of Havelis before zeroing in on this one. The second schedule is expected to wrap up by mid-April. A small portion will be shot in Mumbai at a later date. Kartik had shared the first look pictures from Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 in August last year and wrote, "Ghostbuster is all set to enter Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hush Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2. He could be seen wearing a yellow kurta pajama with a bandana around his head and a skeleton of a hand in his hand, much like Akshay."